Hello there guys, welcome to the channel. This is Pure Wrestling. Today I'm bringing you official Raw review and results. I'm going to go over the show from the beginning to the end and give my quick points on it and what I think about it, and let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on Raw this week. Now we start off with a really good segment in my opinion. Now one thing I want to talk about is the hate towards Roman Reigns. I completely understand the way that WWE books him and the way his character is shown and stuff like that, and the way he's overpowered in the ring and stuff like that and gets his wins. I completely understand that, but what we need to do with this situation is not completely hate Roman as a person. We need to step back and say, well, Roman as a person is putting in the effort and he's there, he works his arse off, he's doing his job. We need to step back and actually realise the person himself is being punished for this because of WWE's creativity and pushing the person that we don't want pushed. Now, I think he even knows that at WrestleMania we do not want to see him versus Brock Lesnar in the main event again. Even he knows that, but he's still there working his ass off, and in this promo, in this segment, he done very, very well. That is my honest opinion on this segment. It started off with Kurt Angle announcing that Brock Lesnar again isn't there on the show. It was announced from Vince McMahon to him, and he basically wanted to inform the crowd and everybody. Then Roman Reigns came out and cut a really good promo saying that if this was Kurt or him or anybody else, they would be fired for not turning up to the job, and basically end up into position saying he especially walked past Vince McMahon and wasn't told, so that comes across to him as disrespect. He will take disrespect from competitors like Brock Lesnar, but not from Vince McMahon. He drops the mic and completely goes to the backstage where you can see Shane McMahon and Vince McMahon sitting there, and it's a really cool segment. Roman's standing up to them and saying, "Oh, I'm not talking to you, Shane, I'm talking to Vince. What do we do about this? Like, what's up?" sort of thing, trying to get into the face of Vince McMahon. It was a really cool segment, and the way they portrayed this, yes, it's WWE trying to get Roman Reigns over, I know that, but we have to respect the character. We have to respect, not the character, sorry, the person who's playing the character, because at the end of the day, he's just doing his job. Now, I actually don't mind this side of Roman Reigns. It's when it's in the ring, that's the side I don't like. But we have to take it as a package, unfortunately, until he actually turns to a heel character, which I think would benefit him more. This is what we have to deal with. And in the end, it ended up with Vince McMahon pulling Roman, going to the break, and Vince McMahon went into his office. And then you cut to a segment where Renee Young is outside Vince McMahon's office waiting for Roman to come out. He comes out, storms off without even being interviewed. You can see he's still angry. Then Vince comes out and explains the actions. He temporarily suspended Roman Reigns for his actions on Raw, and also announced that Brock Lesnar, yes, he does get treatment, he's sometimes extra treatment, but he deserves it because he's earned it, and nobody is going to overstep Vince McMahon, and Brock Lesnar will be, and with his word, will be on Raw next week. So that is something to look forward to, and I thought they did go out on this segment and make it a bit creative and a bit different, and I think, especially coming up towards WrestleMania period, you needed this sort of segment to open Raw, kickstart things. Obviously, Reigns supposed to not be there next week. Will he be there? Will he not? I'm guessing he's going to be there, and he's going to try and come out to Brock Lesnar. I'm guessing it's going to be a really cool segment, and obviously a lot more coming up on this show, which will show in the coming weeks of what's coming up towards WrestleMania. Obviously, the road towards WrestleMania is the key thing right now. Then we went on to Sasha Banks versus Sonya Deville. One thing I noticed, Sasha Banks came out with her entrance, and Bayley was behind her completely with her arms crossed, didn't look happy. And it looks to me that one of them obviously is going to turn heel soon. They're showing it's going to be Bayley, in my opinion, but I think it's going to be Sasha Banks. I think Sasha Banks is going to give in the end and completely just take out Bayley. That's what I think is going to happen, but a lot of other people are going with Bayley to turn heel. But in the end, it was an okay match. It wasn't a great match, but it was an okay match from the women, especially Sonya Deville. I'm really getting impressed every time I see her in the ring. I think she's great. I think I preferred her on NXT, but I do like her in this group. I do think she's one of the best. I'm not behind Mandy Rose at the moment, just like Liv Morgan on the Riot Squad. I'm not sort of behind them two at the moment, but Sonya Deville is definitely improving. I'm liking her in the ring, and in the end, it was a segment where Bayley helped Sasha outside because obviously Absolution were trying to get involved. Bayley helped her and walked out after Sasha Banks got the win with the bank statement. Obviously tapped out Sonya Deville, and basically Banks was left on her own with absolution. You knew what was going to happen next. Total beatdown. Sasha Banks got beat down. In the end, it just goes to show this Bayley and Banks rivalry going in towards WrestleMania. Obviously, that's going to be a match, but what's actually going to come up for absolution, we do not know. And one thing that is annoying me is Paige, and the reason why is because she's obviously not wrestling, she's obviously not being a big part. Why is it her entrance music? Why is it all about her? Why don't they try and get someone in that squad or team absolution, or replace Paige in that sort of way? Because she's getting paid to be there, because the fans love her, and obviously if you had just Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, no one would be behind them. So I completely understand why in a way, but it is quite annoying. Then we next went on to Miz TV, and this obviously featured Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. This was quite a funny segment. Miz obviously playing a pure heel. He wasn't with the Mr Raj. It was announced that it was going to be a tag team match with the Mr Raj going into WrestleMania. They want to earn their WrestleMania spot, so it was just the Miz quietly sitting there with Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. Now he was trying to get Seth on his side, it weren't working. Then he tried Finn, wasn't working. Then it ended up in a complete mix-up, because obviously Seth Rollins said something to Finn which triggered Finn off, and it obviously ended up with them two going at it. And you can see Miz in the middle smiling as a pure heel. They obviously attack Miz, and it was later on announced on the show that them two were going to go one-on-one, because basically Finn wanted to prove that he could beat Seth again, because he already beat him once and took the title. And this is what it was all over, basically about the Intercontinental Championship being built up by the Miz, and both of them want to take it at WrestleMania. So it was a pretty well put segment, which you'd expect. A great Miz TV segment, because these three together are going to pull it off at WrestleMania. I'm hoping this is either a ladder match, or I'm hoping they're going to do something with this match to make it different to the other mid-card on SmackDown Live. Now after that segment, we had the Bar versus the Mr Raj. Now this started off obviously coming out. The Bar came out as entrance. Mr Raj attacked him from behind, and this led to all the other tag teams at the back, and Titus Catering, as JD from NY206 likes to say, Titus Catering, everyone just came out and completely just attacked the tag teams, mainly the Bar. Obviously the Bar feeling like they got basically done over here, and there was a segment backstage with Kurt, and they were basically saying they want to be traded to SmackDown Live. They won't be treated like that there. They will be used to their potential, treated like champions, and they want that trade because they heard there was a rumor that there was a superstar shake-up or a draft after WrestleMania. So there's little hints here and there about the draft and shake-up, which is looking really good. If you haven't seen my video on the top 10 drafts, which I redone, that need to happen in 2018, go ahead and check that out on my channel. There'll be a link in the description as always. And yeah, they pretty much had a good segment with Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle says he doesn't want to let them go. There's going to be a match on tonight's show in the main event where the tag teams are all going to go at it, and we're going to get a contender for WrestleMania for the Bar, which is going to be very, very good. Then it cut to John Cena's promo. Now obviously coming out of FASTLANE, John Cena obviously lost his chance to go to WrestleMania. Now he came out, he cut one of the best promos I've seen him cut in a long time. I'm a massive John Cena fan. There's a lot of people out there that like Roman Reigns completely hate John Cena. I respect the reasons why, but I was a fanboy when I was a kid. I'm not a fanboy now, but I completely love his promos. I think he's pretty much like The Rock in that perspective. The Rock wasn't the best of wrestlers as he got older, but his promos still were intact, and that's what I feel like with John Cena. I think he's still got a promo in him that he can just make everybody get behind him, even though he sucks in a way that they like to say John Cena sucks. He even said in his promo that he has no road to WrestleMania. He's going to be in the crowd as a fan. He's going to enjoy it. He wants to be there. He even drank someone's beer. It was a really good segment, funny. But then he said, well, I've already done something. I've already mentioned that I've done something wrong, and I haven't been in trouble for it yet. So what's the worst that can happen? Sod it, basically. And he goes into it. He challenges The Undertaker to a match at WrestleMania, and he completely calls him a coward. Stop hiding in the sand. He calls him an egomaniac, and he says he knows he's not old and out of it because he keeps posting pictures and videos on Michelle McCall's Instagram account and stuff like that. He says if he knows what he would do if he was challenged, and it would be one more match at WrestleMania with John Cena. He wouldn't reject it. There was a lot more said in this promo. This was just obviously cut down. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out on YouTube or on the actual live show if you've got it recorded or anything, because this segment was very, very good from John Cena. Obviously, everyone was expecting The Undertaker to either turn up at Fastlane or on Raw. Didn't happen yet. I'm liking how they're holding it off, but I'm worried because there's only a couple weeks left till WrestleMania, so they need to get this built fast. Obviously, The Undertaker's going to accept. If he doesn't accept, they're going to add someone else in there. But I can see The Undertaker versus John Cena happening. I'm hoping it's a career versus career match at WrestleMania, and we get one of the best matches of John Cena, and hopefully a good match for The Undertaker. And hopefully, I'm hoping either one of them or both of them get sent off well and they both retire, or one of them retires, especially The Undertaker, because he should be done. And to go off with a match with John Cena, especially if it's going to be a great match, I'm hoping, and with great storyline like it's been, because John Cena's been pulling off stuff. Obviously, his road to WrestleMania, it's been leading to this, so I'm hoping they do something well with this. Next up, we have Elias, and obviously his downfall against Braun Strowman. Obviously, the Symphony of Destruction match obviously took its toll. Elias come out in the ring and he had a brace on. He started playing guitar and he basically walked up, and it's just basically showing how bruised and battered he was from Braun Strowman, and he said, "This is all your fault. This is all your fault." And he's very frustrated, and it led to a backstage segment, obviously, after Elias walked up, with Braun Strowman's warning that he's not going to ask, he's not going to plead and beg for a chance at WrestleMania. He's going to take his opportunity. He's going to get him himself. He's going to, basically, someone's going to get these hands, as he says, and he's going to cause a path of destruction. A great promo again from Braun Strowman. I'm enjoying his promos, and everybody is behind Braun Strowman at the moment. He's one of the major things on Raw at this precise moment, and hopefully they can give him a belt soon. And hopefully they can give him this WrestleMania match, because he's the one person, especially this year, that deserves a WrestleMania match. Now, next, obviously, it was announced Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins. Again, obviously, it feels like another match wasted on Raw, but it didn't disappoint. This match was very, very good. The way it ended, obviously, was Finn Balor getting a roll-up on Seth Rollins, 1, 2, 3, getting in the mind of Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins obviously beat again by Balor, and it makes him angry, and he walks off. But he wasn't beat by a finisher or nothing like that. It was a roll-up. And what had happened is, he does that superplex off the top rope, and he goes for the Falcon Arrow. But as he went for the Falcon Arrow to lift it up, Finn rolled him up with a 1, 2, 3 count. I like the storyline in this feud. Obviously, the match, as I said, was very good, and I didn't expect anything more from this match. I think it done very well for its segment. Next, we had Charlie Caruso interviewing Asuka in the ring, obviously going on from Fastlane, where she challenged Charlotte Flair, which is going to be a great match. Everybody's got to be behind this. This is the women's match that you want to see. Now, I'm worried for the Raw Women's Championship match. Obviously, rumoured that Nia Jax is going to go against Alexa. Obviously, people going, that's not going to be as good as that, and that's not going to be as good as that. And when people tend to do that they normally tend to cut down what they would have done on the main match, which would be Charlotte and Asuka in this case. They tell them to go well, don't go too well, and so then that match looks as good as that, and I'm hoping they don't do that. I'm hoping they just let them both go and just give it their all and show what they can do at WrestleMania. But anyway, in this segment, Asuka, well, before she could even speak, Alexa Bliss came out with Mickie James. I'm still confused with this Mickie James situation. It feels like they've just replaced Mickie with Nia with Mickie, because obviously Nia's getting a face push. That's what it feels like to me. Basically, Bliss is mocking Asuka and basically saying she chose the right champion. She knows she would have lost against Bliss, and Bliss would have broke her streak. So she was a smart champion. It's technical and smart. Tactical, sorry, not technical. And this was quite a cool segment. I think Bliss was very funny here, basically taking the Mickie out of her language as she can't speak English properly on the mic, and taking little cheap shots. In the end, it got Asuka really angry. She was saying the reason why she chose Charlotte is because she wanted to verse the best of the best in the women's division and the best women's champion on both rosters in the main roster. And it was a very good promo from both sides, and for once I actually enjoyed Asuka's promo. It wasn't long, it was just a short and sweet, straight to the point, and I really enjoyed it. And this whole segment as a whole was good. It ended up in a Bliss looking up to the ramp saying, and this person wants to get revenge on you, and obviously everyone's expecting Nia Jax to come down and take out Asuka, obviously because of last week. There's something going on with Nia Jax. So what happened is Nia didn't turn out in the end, so what ended up, it was a double team on Asuka, and in the end the match was announced, Asuka versus Mickie James, which was up next basically. Now this match is always great. If you didn't watch NXT when these two went at it, you definitely missed out on something, because these two can go in the ring together, especially Mickie James with that experience that she's got. She's not just all talk, she's a great heel at the moment. I'm actually preferring her heel character at the moment than her face character. I think she can be kind of cringy and cheesy, but this heel character I'm enjoying alongside Alexa Bliss. And I think these two had a great match. In the end, the Asuka lock actually was shown on Raw, guys. The Asuka lock actually tapped out Mickie James. Now, it's always been an armbar, and they've been avoiding this move, and I'm glad to see that she tapped out a future Hall of Famer in Mickie James with the Asuka lock on Raw. So Asuka gets to win going towards WrestleMania. Next up, obviously, we have a backstage segment with Alexa talking to Nia, saying, "Where the hell were you?" Basically having a heart-to-heart, basically bringing Nia on her side, being clever old Alexa. And this was quite a funny segment in Fair. She says, "I love you," and all that, and they're hugging. It's all lovely, and Nia says she's got a match next. That's why she didn't go out. Kurt told her not to. It's basically a jobber match. Nia goes out there, completely destroys this jobber, showing that she's getting better in the ring, if I'm honest. I know it's a jobber, but it was still good. After the little pep talk backstage, and Nia just won the match, the screen up on top obviously lights up, and you can see a backstage segment was supposed to happen. Was an interview with Charlie Caruso with obviously Alexa and Mickie James. They were both slagging Nia Jax off, as Charlie Caruso wasn't there yet. They were slagging Nia Jax off, saying that they use her. She's basically they was taking the Mickie out of her size, and in the end it led to Nia Jax obviously getting furious, hearing that, and basically seeing that it ain't what it seems. Alexa's using her, and she needs to take action. So she goes out backstage, and by the time she gets out there, basically they escaped. They got the hell out of there, because they knew once Charlie Caruso come in and told them that the mic's on, guys. Sorry I'm late. Everybody outside has heard this. They knew Nia was coming from, so they completely ran out, and Nia came in, destroyed the whole of her locker room, Alexa Bliss's locker room, and it was a very good segment, and you can see Nia Jax nearly crying, and it is a really good emotional segment. And for me, somebody who cares about Nia Jax as a person, for me who's quite a big person myself, looking at her and hearing them comments like bullies and stuff, I think this is really good storyline from all three of these, and I'm hoping Nia Jax goes to WrestleMania and we get her WrestleMania moment beating Alexa Bliss, who is currently your Raw Women's Champion and has been consistent with the Raw Women's Championship, showing that she's a good champion, and you get Nia Jax as your new champion after WrestleMania and at WrestleMania, which I'm really looking forward to personally. And the main event obviously was the tag team battle royale. Obviously battle royale was over the top rope, nothing special, and it was all the tag teams pretty much. You had the Revival, you had the Bar, you had Heath and Rhino, you had Titus Worldwide, you had I don't know if I said the club already, and you had the Mr Raj. Now they all went at it, but before anything could even happen. You had Braun Strowman's music hits, and now Braun Strowman's come out. Everyone's like, what the hell? Now, as soon as that happened, I knew what they was going to do. Braun Strowman completely destroyed everybody, threw them out, and it ended in this segment. Everyone confused with Braun Strowman being the only person. Now, I don't know if it's actually official or not. There's rumours going around that he's going to have a mystery partner next week on Raw or in the coming weeks. But I can see them doing, because this year has been the year of let's break records, let's make the first something, whether it's the first women's Royal Rumble, the first women's Elimination Chamber, it's going to be the first Fabulous Moolah the Battle Royale, what they're going to do at WrestleMania. That's been announced as well, the Fabulous Moolah, which I just think it's always been about the first this year, breaking records, and this is going to could be the first man to win the tag team championships on his own. That's what they could do here, and I can see that happening, which I don't think is right for Braun Strowman, because yeah, it'll be a record broken, it'd be quite cool, but after a couple of weeks, Braun Strowman deserves to be in that main event or mid card and win one of them titles. Why isn't he there? So I'm hoping in the coming weeks we either get a partner thrown with him that's really good and we're going to get a good tag team, or there has to be action taken into this where they take Braun Strowman out and put him into a mid-card title match because he's earned an opportunity at a title, which I'm hoping which Kurt Angle does, and you get either a ladder match or you get a cool match with Finn Balor, Seth Rollins and The Miz, and then also with Elias in the mix. Obviously he deserves something, obviously coming out of their storyline there still with Elias, so I'm hoping it's all the Elias, Braun Strowman, The Miz, Finn and Seth with a ladder match or something like that at WrestleMania, and you got the title on the line. Then it's more unpredictable, because at the moment with the three, The Miz, Seth and Finn, I'm going with Finn Balor all the way, and Seth going to be traded to SmackDown Live with AJ coming to Raw. It's pretty predictable in my honest opinion. So that is it, guys. That is your Raw review and results. So if you enjoyed this video, please let me know by smashing the thumbs up, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications straight to your device or your YouTube, and don't forget to comment down below your thoughts on Raw this week. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to join me tomorrow on the channel as well for SmackDown Live's review. May do a 205 live review on that one, if not on NXT's review the day after. And don't forget, let's chat WWE, guys. Links in the description to episode number 1 and 2 if you were interested in that. Basically, the series is about getting your opinions heard and your questions answered. If you want to join me on this show and get your questions across and maybe have your opinions heard, don't forget to basically email me. Links in the description to social media as well as email, or you can basically comment down below, and that can mean questions. Send me questions, send me topics you want me to talk about, and yeah, I can mention it, or you can message me and want to come on the show. That's great as well. So let's chat WWE, go and check that out. Don't forget the top 10 drafts in 2018 that needs to happen. Links in the description for that as well. Everything in the description. Comment down below, like, share, comment, subscribe, everything you can to support this channel. This is Pure Wrestling, and I'll see you next time, guys, on This is Pure Wrestling.